Hi, I'm Vince Roman. I am the CEO and owner of Burns Stainless. Memory that I have the most about cars, and I think what actually got me enthusiastic about cars, was actually at I believe it was a 1968 auto show in Brussels, Belgium. We were living in Brussels at the time, and my dad took me to the auto show, and I remember seeing the Mercedes C111 concept car, which was a rotary powered race car, and he had it set up on a track, and it just was something that I just remembered from a young kid, and I said, wow, that is so cool. So the other recollection I had was when I was a young kid, I got a Matchbox as a toy. It was a green Lotus Formula One car, and I always assumed that was Jim Clark's car, and those were the things that really kind of cemented my car hobby in my mind.
My earliest car memory was when I was maybe about 6 or 7 years old. My grandpa owned I think it was a 1968 Trans Am. The color and the big flaming bird in the front of the hood.
When I was kid, my memory was Volkswagen. Yeah, we went to the little lake in Mexico. Yeah, we was to a little lake in Mexico.
Probably my dad sneaking me in the trunk at a drive-through movie theater when I did not need to get stuck in the trunk, just so he wouldn't have to pay another $10 ticket. Yeah, no, it was a good memory. He had a 72 Plymouth Satellite with a big old 440 engine, so I mean, it was loud, obnoxious, but that's probably one of my first ones, yeah.
First car I got was a BMW 1600 when BMW first came into the United States. So that was my first memory that I personally can remember, only because I don't have much of a memory growing up in the 70s.
I'm going to say my earliest car memory is actually a dune buggy. My dad used to race dune buggies all the time, and he'd have it out on the trailer. And I'm one of 10 kids, so we'd go out there and play on the dune buggy, acting like we were on the racetrack or racing other people, and it was a great time. So that's what my earliest memory would be in a car.
All right, my name is Luis Cordova. I help make mufflers, so all the mufflers you see, I help make, and just really a little of everything. Actually, yeah, there's one time we were supposed to go to Big Bear, and I was having starter issues. And I don't know why Honda made it like this, but the starter is in the bottom, and the bolt to mount it is like at a weird angle. So we spent probably 2 hours just trying to mount it back. So I was like, oh.
You know, it's hard from a reliability standpoint. I had a 1985 Trans Am, which always broke down. There was always something going wrong with that car.
Honda Civic. It broke down within the first 2 months that I've owned it, and after that I just never wanted to own the Honda.
I had a 1986 Oldsmobile Cutlass I had to drive for a little while because my license was suspended because I crashed one car and then I got it back, and my parents, as punishment, let me drive that instead of getting my truck back. So that was pretty bad, but good, lesson learned.
My name is Oscar, and I work at Burns Stainless, and I work in the warehouse department. My favorite car that I ever owned was a 2014 Ford Mustang, and I loved it because it was grabber blue. Very catchy color.
My favorite car I ever owned was a 1995 Acura Integra GSR. Low profile tires, it was black. Pretty much got myself in trouble with that car because I would race anybody that wanted to race. Corvettes, anybody. And I went 125 miles an hour in that car. Pretty much scared myself and said, no more. I was done. But I enjoyed it.
Well, I've really only owned one car, and that was a 2015 Honda Accord. And it was a really nice car. It was a good car. I took it cross country a couple times, and it's really good on gas. It's just a fun little car.
Favorite currently right now is probably my 01 Sporty. It's fully built and it's just a little bit of a hot rod, but that's probably it right now.
I currently have a GMC Sierra AT4, which I think is an amazing vehicle. I mean, it rides like a Cadillac. It's got a diesel engine, gets 19 miles to the gallon for a full-size four-wheel drive pickup truck. but I've had Jaguars. I had a Porsche 911, 993 that I think from a pure automobile standpoint, that was probably the best. But I also had a Honda Civic that I thought was amazing.
Hi, my name's Alex Rodriguez, and I'm the fabricator at Burn Stainless. Oh, 94 FXR. It's the last year of like the full production Harley FXR, and so I decided to, if I get another bike, that's going to be it, and then just build it up and do some wheelies and burnouts and hopefully not crash it.
Well, I just learned about this car called the Chaos, which is this company that's coming out with this is some guy in Greece, and he's termed it the Ultra car. And in its peak form is a $14 million car, and at least one of the concept cars had a exhaust system that was built by the great grandson of Pablo Picasso. So I'll go for that right now.
I would love to own a Hummer H1, the Alpha H1. I just think, you know, in today's world with everyone texting, it seems like a very safe vehicle. Plus it's just unique, and it would have to be canary yellow.
Lamborghini.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yes.
My name is Corin Apollinaris, and I am the office manager / customer service rep here at Burns Stainless. Say probably NASCAR. When I first started, actually before I started here with Burns, I used to watch NASCAR on the TV all the time. But I think I really enjoyed it once I started with Burns and I got to go to Fontana and watch my first NASCAR race live. Got to sit in the pits, stayed overnight over the weekend, got to meet some of the race car drivers, and I think that I'd have to say that's my best.
The SEMA show is one of my favorite events, and it's going on this week. I'm not there, but first one post-COVID. I'll wait till next year when they got it all figured out. The other one that I remember growing up with around here is the Long Beach Grand Prix, and I used to attend that every year until things got busier and busier, but certainly one of the most beautiful events in automotive, history, I think. Being here by the beach in Long Beach and watching these Indy cars run around the track, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
My favorite car event is Fabulous Fords, and it's in Buena Park. I remember going there. That was my first car show that I ever went to with my father and my brothers.
Probably a local one that they have here yearly is Born Free. Daytona's super nice.
Lime Rock Concours d'Elegance back there, and I spent a lot of time there. And also Road America Vintage Racing was a big something that I really got behind in the later days.
My name is Fernando Mendoza. My position is a ladder position because I know many things. I have a lot of years to work here, but I like my work. And on the job, I launch your time. I love everything. I don't have a specific things here because I repeat that I do many things. I don't tell, I like this more this. I like all of them.
Do everything from taking the sales calls, the technical sales calls, and that's really what I probably enjoy the most, is just talking to our customers and helping them solve their exhaust problems. I really love the customers that we have because they're all passionate about what they do. I am helping them accomplish something that they're passionate about, and they're grateful for it. So I'd say that was my favorite thing, but then, I have to sign all the checks. I stay late and make sure that everybody's got enough work for the next day, and those sorts of things. But I really do enjoy that one-on-one time with the customers.
Working as a team together and getting things done.
Seeing how these mufflers work on the different bikes we have in the back, I think that's really cool.
Something new every day. I kind of joke around saying I'm a janitor because it's less responsibility. When you're a janitor, no one really wants to yell at you because they already feel bad for you.
Really, it's the interaction with the people. One of my strengths is being with people, and so I think, I think that's probably why Vince has kept me, is because I'm kind of the glue. I have my own way of doing things, and I really don't care what Vince thinks.
For 20 years. I'd have to say I just started off as just coming in as a job, wanting something, to make a living. And 20 years later, I just really enjoy what I do. Enjoy helping customers, knowing that customers are happy, that we have product, making sure that they're well taken care of.
My name is David Northridge, and I basically run the operations, human resources for Byrne Stainless, and I have for the last 7 or 8 years as a consultant. Go way back, I was very, very close with Phil Hill, who was Formula One champion, one of our two, very close with him over the years until he passed away. Met a lot of them over the years, been real lucky, but Phil and I had a great relationship. We did a lot of projects together. He's one of many. Peter Egan's another person I'm still very close with. He was a writer for both Road and Track, Cycle World Car and Driver, and actually flying, and I did a lot of stuff with flying.
I mentioned Jim Clark earlier, so he's obviously not alive with us, unfortunately, but definitely somebody who I look up to. Smokey Yunick, I think, is another guy that I really look up to. I mean, he had an engineering mind, but he also had that little bit of a slight evil edge where he would, kind of push the rules to the nth degree. So he's a guy that I really, really admire as well. Paul Newman. I mean, Paul Newman is just a guy that in his old age really took up automotive racing and raced up until I think he was in his 80s when he at least the late 70s at Le Mans. So, I mean, that's a guy that I just said, wow.
Kenny Bernstein, and then Eddie Hill, John Force, and then those guys. My dad took me to drag racing in Pomona when I was probably, I think, 7 or 8. And just watching those Top Fuel drag racers, that's kind of what got me into it. And then, Tim Allen, Jay Leno, and stuff like that, they were cool. But Boyd Coddington, for sure, one of them. Obviously, Chip Foose, and George Barris, one of the old guys. I actually was fortunate enough to work on a 49 Merc that George Barris started and did not get to finish, so I was pretty lucky on that one.